Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. In this particular video, we are going to talk about HR questions. So, what kind of HR questions you are going to face in your upcoming bank PO interview, and basically how to tackle these particular questions, and what should be your answer for these particular questions. So, here, as you can see in this particular list, in this particular video I'm going to answer these particular questions. Okay, so many time interviewer they generally ask you to do your SWOT analysis. Then apart from that we have like why you want to join a bank, and the local information about your city, your state, your parent occupations, your role model, the gap and experiences, what experiences you have, or if you have any gap, how to answer that particular one, and your family and your education background. So I designed this particular video because like so many times student they generally query about these particular question, and sometimes they prepare for banking, current and other areas, but they forget about these particular question. Okay, so we'll go through these particular question one by one. We'll start with SWOT analysis. So now the trend is changing. Previously, like so many time basically interviewer they generally ask you tell me something about yourself or introduce yourself. Now to like sometime or we can say nowadays they basically ask you to do your SWOT analysis. Like some if you are not prepared for this kind of questions, so your first impression is your introduction, so you have to prepare these kind of questions. Okay, so what are basically this is nothing, this is similar to your introduction, but you have to categorize your introduction into four part. So what are your strengths? So your analytical strength, your educational background, your strong academics, your skills, so that is part of your strength. Okay, then we have opportunities, what opportunities you have, and how, like let's say if you are a IT graduate, how you'll be fruitful for the banking system. If you know different languages, how it is definitely going to help you in banking system and all. So what are your weakness? So weakness, sometimes students they are generally avoid this particular part, but interviewer they may ask you question about your weakness, so you have to work on these particular areas. Like some students say they are quite emotional, so how to, like your answer should be problem solving. If you are emotional, how you are working on that particular problem. Okay, threats, what are the threats for you? So like huge competitions or even the other areas you can refer for this particular one as well. So you have to prepare your SWOT analysis for yourself, and that is nothing, that is just your introduction, but you have to prepare these kind of questions as well. Second one we have why bank. So if you see, around 70 to 80 persons who generally appear for interview, they are from non-commerce background. So why you want to join this banking system, let's say, or even for some experienced person as well. So there is a person who working with some IT firm or some other areas. Now he start preparing things. Now he let's say he is facing interview, so how to tackle that particular one. So you have to ready with some solid answers, and ready with some interview definitely they'll come with some cross questions, so you have to prepare for that particular one as well. Okay, so why bank, why you want to join public sector banks, why not private sector bank, why not SBI? So these kind of questions you are going to face, so you have to prepare for that particular one. So if you have answer for that particular one, you can mention in the comment section, and even I'll review your answers as well. Okay, then next question is local information. So when you introduce yourself, so you are definitely going to mention about your city, your state. So what are the we can say key attraction for that particular city or state. Okay, so your local information, your MLA or any famous person, or even famous places of that particular city, or the distance, or we can say the distance from your city to that interview place. So these kind of questions. So you have to aware about your city, or like how banking business in your city, so how banks are dealing with customers, or number of public sector bank, number of private sector banks, or is like in that particular area, what are the financial inclusions and all. So you have to prepare for these kind of things. Okay. Then next one is when you introduce yourself, so you will definitely mention about your parents, your siblings. So let's say if your parent is a businessman, so you have to know about that particular occupation. So if your parent do a resto business, so what is their daily turnover, their monthly, their yearly turnover, or why you are not going to join them, or even like there are so many questions. With this particular part, you can also drive your interview as well. Okay. So if your parents is they work with army, so why you are not going to join that particular occupation, or some other areas as well. So we have different occupations, so you have to aware about your parents, your siblings occupations, a basic knowledge I'm asking. Okay. So please be prepared for this particular one. This is definitely going, you guys are definitely going to face this particular question in your upcoming interviews. Then who is your role model, who inspire you to join banking or even to do something in your life? So sometime examiner, they skip this one, but most of time they ask this particular question as well. So your role model, why you follow him or her. So and like, or we can say who inspire you to join banking system, or some other areas as well. So please be prepared, your role model. And next one, the very important one is gap or experiences. Let's say if you have experience, so you are working with some private bank or some private firm or some other organizations. So what were your learning from that particular one? Why you skip that particular organizations? And the project where you work. So this kind of question you will definitely face. If you have experience, that is very good for that is definitely going to help you in your upcoming interview, but you need to clear your role and responsibilities in that particular organizations, how you help to grow their business and all. Okay. And sometime students, they have gap. Let's say you completed your graduation in 2015, so now 2023. So what you did in these particular years? So for this particular one, what I always suggest student be I would say ki you have be genuine to these particular interviewer, because they know. And now there are two things. If your gap year is less than 2 years, you do not need to worry. You can simply say, I was preparing for this particular examination this many times. It take for prelims, for mains, for interview and all. But if it is more than 2 years, you have to be ready with some solid answers and all. Okay. Hope you're getting this particular one. And for experienced person as well, so if you are experienced, so you have to know your organization well, your role and responsibilities, and that is definitely going to give as in your upcoming interview. Okay. Then we have educational background. So many students, they are IT graduate, they are like mechanical engineers, or basically we can say engineering background. So after this, why banking? So what that basically motivate you to join that particular banking fields and all. And after IT, why you should not join the any IT firms or any the other whatever you study in your in your graduation or post graduation. One thing, if you are a commerce graduate, if you are let's say if you did MBA and all, so that is definitely going to help you, but be ready for some solid questions. They'll definitely ask question based on your like basic accountings or accounting rules, depreciations, or even if you did MBA, so then they'll ask you a question based on ratio analysis or the other part of management or finance, marketing and all these particular things. Okay. So hope you're getting this particular thing. So educational background, again, a very important part. So your family background, educational background, and all these particular things. So HR questions are very important for any interview, because with this with these particular question you can drive your interview. So you can drive your interview means like the HR panel, they do not know you, or even you do not know them. Okay, so like this is your first one-to-one interaction, so whatever you say, choose your word carefully, because the next question, the cross question, will be based on the same things. Okay, let's say if you said ki, I did my MBA in finance from this university, so you mentioned that finance word, so now the next question will be based on your finance. So next thing, let's say if you said your parents or your father run a business of any XYZ things. Okay, so now they'll ask you question based on your father occupations. Okay, so if like this kind of question, they are definitely going to help you, but you need a clarity about these particular things. So only suggestion is whatever you say, choose your word carefully, and the cross question will most of time based on whatever you say to the interviewer. Okay, so hope you like this particular video. If you have any query related to your upcoming interview, please do mention in comment section. I'll try to answer your queries, or even if you want any other topic related video and all, so please do mention. And if you are new to our channel, please do subscribe and do share with your friends. Thank you guys, all the very best.